Jay, first of all, the guys looked like they were limited in some way. Crawford? Yeah.
I did not hear on Crawford.
Okay.
A lot of these I haven't had a chance to talk to Larry. I just came right off right now.
Oh, okay.
I know that Pierre was out with a slight hamstring. We're just making sure he gets 100%.
Okay, and Ryan Clark and
Ryan Clark had a little hammy.
Okay, and Philip Thomas.
Same.
Okay. In some way, especially given how little starters play in the first preseason game, these 3 days are more important for number ones than Thursday night's game. Would you say?
No question. No question. That's the purpose of it, is to really get these guys a lot of work, because in the preseason games they'll be limited. Obviously, every team in the NFL, the number one unit is limited. So this is a great opportunity to go out and compete against another team and get a feel for what they're doing and see how we react to different coverages and fronts on offense and defensively, a different scheme, different route concepts and runs, and no huddle. So it was a great experience these 2 days.
I know you still have to look at film, but what did you learn about your team today? And then were there areas that you saw improvement from yesterday to today?
I think overall defensively I was happy the way we competed. The red zone period, obviously, we have a lot of work to do in the red zone, but from a situational football standpoint, out in the field we competed a lot better. Some of the drives we got some stops, but the red zone it just looked like we're a little off kilter for whatever reason. We'll get it fixed. And great experience, like I said, to figure out the holes in whatever defense you have and make sure you get those fixed before you start at Houston. Offensively, the same. We had some ups and downs. There's some issues with some grabbing back there. But overall, I think they competed well. The line gave us ample protection, which was encouraging. When we did run the ball, we ran the ball effectively. So I think there's a lot to be encouraged about. Not only the fact that we did some good things, but also we did some things that are correctable that we can fix before we get to Houston.
Jay, some of the guys defensively were talking about the big plays that you kind of had today, and that was the reason they brought it up, because it was an issue the last couple of years. I'm just curious your take on that, and if there's any sort of theme that you saw from that, or is it more, I guess, watch the film, but is there anything that you noticed?
Yeah, it's hard to say. There's a couple balls that got over our heads, which we have to correct. No matter whether we would have had the sack or not, there's a couple times our defensive linemen are waiting there by the quarterback and not hitting them, and he's standing back there all day, but doesn't discount the fact that we got to cover longer downfield and we got to make sure we eliminate those big plays. So, again, it was a great 2 days of work in pads against these guys, just seeing another team and fixing some kinks that you have to fix that we might not have been able to see had we been going against each other.
Are you going to go full pads tomorrow at all, or is this just a walkthrough against them? Or?
No, we're going to go against them, but it won't be pads. It'll just be the little shells. Yep.
Coach Belichick was in here talking about his relationship with Tom Brady, and obviously he's had a 14, 15-year head start over you and Robert, but how the rapport develops where Tom essentially knows what Bill wants to do out there on the field. And from your experience, how long does it take to go from player-coach to maybe partner when it comes to that coach-quarterback relationship?
No, it takes a lot of time. It takes a lot of trust, a lot of wins, a lot of ups and downs that you fight through together. You work out together off the field, on the field. Like you said, 15 years I think it is now. So, that's something that you only hope to have. It's the only dream of having as a head coach. Not many coaches last 15 years in the same city. But obviously that's our goal here, to get Robert here for a long time, myself here for a long time, and hopefully we can build a relationship similar to that.
You mentioned quarterback decision-making is another area yesterday you wanted to see improvement. How did they do today, Robert and Kirk?
He did some good things. There's some things he was shut out on. They had some good coverage down the field, and he tucked it and ran it or tried to make a play. He just has a stubbornness to him. Sometimes in practice he doesn't like to throw it away. In a game, I think he'll throw some of those away. But overall, I think he's coming. He's got a long way to go, obviously. But I think the more opportunities he has to take a snap from center, drop back with people rushing him, seeing coverages, seeing routes develop, making his reads, making his progressions, making his throws with his footwork, the better he's going to be. There's no substitute for these reps.
Does he need to lose a little bit of that stubbornness and throw the ball way more in practice so he's ready in games, or is it something you can switch
he probably should. We'll address that. I think he's so athletic that he thinks he can keep a lot of plays alive, and maybe he can. It's hard to say. What do you got me? I don't know. What do you got? But I think there's a point in time where he's got to, not make a bad play worse. That's something we're going to preach, and eliminate the negative plays. I don't think we had any interceptions today, which was good. I think we did have a couple negative plays. Maybe it would have been sacks. Who knows? But definitely eliminate the negative plays.
Jay, just curious what you thought of the way Tom Brady operated the no-huddle offense today.
It was good. It was efficient. It was fun to watch. He does a good job. He's very quick with his calls, and their communication is on point. Our defense did a great job today, I think, with their communication and team drills. We did an excellent job. In the red zone was a different issue. We had our issues, but overall, in a lot of the team drills, the one-on-one drills, I think you can see that personnel-wise, we're right there. We just have to make sure we shore up our coaching and make sure we get our guys in the right spot.
Can you believe Brady's 37 years old? I mean, he looks like he's 29 out there sometimes.
He does. He looks good, man. It's fun to watch him. He's a poetry in motion, and obviously a Hall of Famer and the best of all time. So when you get a chance to watch him in a setting like this, it's a great learning experience for everybody. But it's really good for our defensive tempo just to see how he operates and how we compete out there with him. And I don't think anybody backed down. It's the New England Patriots, whatever it is. Our guys came out to play football. It's all about playing football. It's all about competing and finding out which guys are going to play best when it going gets tough. And I think we saw some guys step up today.
With Robert, you talk about throwing the ball away a little bit more. Obviously, he wants to extend plays. So how hard is it for a guy to learn? He wants to extend plays, maybe to learn when is it a good time to throw it away, when is it not? How much film study does it take to get to that point where he understands that?
Yeah, a lot of that's feel, a lot of that's just discipline by the quarterback and knowing the down and distance, knowing the situation in the game. There's a lot of factors that come into a good play as a throwaway. And that's something that he's going to have to learn. We're just going to have to fight through and probably have to suffer through some of the poor decisions if he has some. But, sometimes you say he should have thrown away. He scrambles around and finds a guy wide open for a 70-yard gain. You're like high-fiving him. So we just got to, he's got to just understand the game situation, where we are in the game and where we are field position-wise, and it's okay to punt every now and then.
And how much are you right now when you're watching film with them, are you talking to him about that?
Oh, a lot. Every snap we talk about everything, fundamentals, footwork, everything. Decisions when plays break down. Our primary receiver's covered or he falls down or gets jammed and he doesn't get off the line. Then what? Where's your secondary? Where's your third? Where's your fourth? Are you going to run? Can you find a lane? At what point do you tuck it and run or get out of the pocket and throw it away? What have you? And that's, like I said, every play is its own entity. And until we get reps like this against the New England Patriots and feel the pocket collapse, what are you going to do? Is your ball security disciplined where you're not going to turn the ball over, where your scrambling lanes are? So it's all different, but it's all a good learning experience for them.
Yeah, this morning Bill Belichick was talking about one of the things he liked about these joint practices was being able to work in situations. He said his first team offense might get, 3 red zone opportunities the entire preseason. Here he can get like 20. Is that something else you're looking at when you're setting these up?
Absolutely awesome. It really is. You can't underestimate the reps that we got today and yesterday. Situational, third down and short, third down and medium, third down and long, red zone opportunities. We had some move the ball opportunities. We had 2-minute today 3 or 4 times. Had to use a timeout, all that stuff, man. That's something that's not only good for our players but good for us to, watch the situations and make good decisions with the clock and spiking it, when to call timeout. Are we in field goal range? So that was great work for everybody involved. The offensive line got some good work on stunts against another defense and one-on-ones, and receivers did some one-on-ones against a physical group, and we did, like I said, red zone, short yardage, all that. It was great. Well, I'm not going to, go crazy right now, but I've been very encouraged with his progress. He runs his routes at the right depth all the time. He's got good, strong hands. Obviously, he has a lot to work on with his releases. But overall, his knowledge of the game, his knowledge of the position, understanding of route concepts and route discipline is not like a rookie, any rookie that I've ever been around anyway. I haven't been around that long, but very seasoned for a young kid. Very seasoned. Very impressed with Ryan.
Coach, have you seen anything in these dual practices from any player or players that you didn't see in practice before?
Not yet. I haven't watched this film today. Today's a different, practice, and I like to see how guys played yesterday, whether they played poorly or whether they played great, and see the ones that played good if they could maintain that level, see the ones that played poorly if they could raise their level. So today's going to be a very important measuring tool for me as far as how they're competing. But I think yesterday I was impressed with a lot of guys, and I want to see, if they carried over today. And if the guys who struggled, I want to see if they were able to dig down and compete today and do a better job. So we'll see how it went.
Yeah.
Okay.